You wake up every morning, check your phone, scroll mindlessly, and convince yourself that today will be different. But it won't, because you're trapped. You're not broke because the economy is bad. You're not broke because life is unfair. You're broke because you think like a loser. And that's exactly why you'll stay broke. You've been programmed since birth to see money as something you earn by trading your time. You've been taught that working hard at a stable job is the smart way to live. But look around. How many people do you know who followed that path and are actually winning? How many people work their entire lives just to retire old, weak, and tired? If hard work was the key, the guy breaking his back on a construction site would be a millionaire. But he's not. Because the system never rewards hard work. It rewards smart work. You've been sold a lie so deep that you defend it. You laugh at the idea of making money online. You call people scammers when they try to teach you how to escape. Because your mind is so deeply programmed to believe that financial freedom is either a scam or an illusion. You refuse to believe that you're the problem. So you blame the government. You blame your boss. Inflation. Everything. Except the person in the mirror. You refuse to accept that wealth is a mindset first and money second. And because of that, you'll stay exactly where you are. Stuck, broke, confused. And here's the worst part. The system wants you weak. The system wants you broke. The system wants you dependent. They designed it that way. You think it's a coincidence that school never taught you about taxes, investments, or building wealth. It's not. Because if you knew how money actually worked, you wouldn't be sitting in a cubicle taking orders from a boss who doesn't care about you. You wouldn't be drowning in debt, financing a lifestyle you can't afford just to impress people who don't even like you. They need you trapped. They need you to take out loans, to stay in debt, to keep working for a paycheck that barely covers your expenses. They give you weekends off just so you don't completely break. They let you have just enough money to survive, but never enough to escape. And you accept it. You live for the small moments of escape, watching Netflix, scrolling TikTok, ordering junk food, because deep down you know you're stuck, and distractions are the only thing that keep you from facing reality. You are a modern-day slave. You don't have chains on your hands, but you have chains on your mind. And that's even worse. They put you in school at 5 years old and force you to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day. You're told to follow the rules, memorize useless facts, and obey authority without question. But did they ever teach you how to make money? Did they ever show you how to invest, build wealth, or escape the rat race? No, because that was never the goal. The goal was to turn you into a worker, a cog in their machine. You weren't trained to think, you were trained to comply. They taught you just enough to function in society, but never enough to break free from it. They made you believe that getting good grades meant you were smart, that going to college meant you were successful, that working a stable job meant you were secure. But look at the reality. Millions of graduates drowning in debt, working jobs they hate, barely making enough to survive. The ones who followed the safe path are the ones struggling the most. They were promised security, but all they got was a lifetime of bills and stress. And the worst part? You still defend this system. You believe in it because you don't know anything else. You think the rich got lucky. That success is about privilege. That making money is complicated. Meanwhile, the wealthy laugh at you because they know the truth. Money is simple when you understand how it works, but they will never teach you that. If everyone knew how to escape, who would be left to serve? Your 9-to-5 job is a prison. and you're grateful for your chains. You wake up every morning, not because you want to, but because you have to. You sit in traffic, waste hours of your life working for someone else's dream, then come home too tired to do anything about your own life. And the craziest part? You think this is normal. You think this is how life is supposed to be. You convince yourself that you're lucky to even have a job, that you should be grateful for your salary, even though it barely covers your expenses. They brainwashed you so well that you don't even see the trap you're in. They give you just enough to survive, but never enough to escape. They give you the illusion of choice. Pick this job or that job. Work for this company or that one. But in the end, you're still a worker, still a servant, still exchanging your time for money, while the people above you get richer without lifting a finger. The CEO makes more in a day than you make in a year. And you still believe hard work will set you free. You work overtime hoping for a raise, while your boss takes vacations you can't afford. You save money like a good little employee, while inflation eats away at your bank account. And yet, you don't question any of it. You accept it, because it's all you've ever known. If you're not making money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. This is the truth they don't want you to realize. You're trained to believe that money is something you trade your time for. That the only way to earn is to clock in, work hours, and then get a paycheck. But that's the slowest and most ineffective way to build wealth. Because the moment you stop working, the money stops coming in. The rich don't live like this. They don't trade time for money. They make their money work for them. They own businesses, assets, and investments that generate income 24/7. They make money whether they wake up at 5 a.m. or sleep till noon. They can take vacations, disappear for months, and still come back richer than before. Meanwhile, you miss one paycheck and your entire life falls apart. You convince yourself that working harder is the solution. You could work 100 hours a week and you'd still never be rich. The system isn't designed to reward hard work. It's designed to keep you stuck. If effort alone created wealth, construction workers and janitors would be billionaires. But they're not. Because hard work without the right strategy is just slavery. The ones who truly win are the ones who understand how to multiply their money, how to build streams of income that don't require their constant effort. But you never learn this, because no one taught you. Instead, they told you to get a good job, work for 40 years, save a little money, and hope you have enough left to survive retirement. That's not a plan. That's a slow death.